Hello everyone. Here's the second update of the Batch Recursive Rendering add-on for Blender. This new version brings some exciting new features, along with a few bug fixes. Let's take a quick look at what's new. The main update focuses on Combine Task. It's been completely redesigned to give you better control over the combinations generated by the add-on. Let's expand the interface and check it out. In the tasks list, several tasks are displayed. The first one is the cube object, located in the cube collection. When assigned to the main collection, it becomes the task's main object. The solo object option ensures that this object is treated independently, so it won't be included in any other combinations. It has two materials assigned. In the linked collection section of the cube task, we've linked two collections, cone and icosphere. This means that every time the cube appears in a combination, the objects from these collections will appear as well. In the linked materials section, one material is assigned to cone and two to icosphere. These linked materials define which materials are applied to the objects from the linked collections. The second task is Suzanne, which has two materials assigned. It is linked to the torus object, which also has its own materials. For this example, several tasks are configured, each with different settings. The floor task has object locked enabled. This means it will appear in every combination, even if solo object is activated for other tasks. Its material is set to floor. By enabling combine tasks, combine materials, and combine objects, the add-on estimates 15 combinations. And then, the render can be launched. Once the render is complete, the export folder shows that all tasks have been successfully rendered. To make combined tasks easier to work with, you can show or hide a task in the viewport. Select the objects of a task. Use task render mode to preview only what the task would generate at render. When task solo mode is enabled, the task generates 4 combinations. And the render produces images corresponding to the cube task. Finally, this button allows you to disable a task. When disabled, the objects from this task are released into free mode, meaning they are no longer constrained by combined tasks and can participate in normal combinations. That concludes the section on combined tasks. Collection lights have also been updated. Now, meshes with an emissive shader in the light collection are treated as actual lights. For example, we have a sphere with an emissive shader acting as a light. With Combine Light enabled, the estimated number of combinations is 3. Enabling the By Light option exports each render into a separate folder according to the light used. Once the render is launched, the images are automatically generated and organized into folders by light, and the emissive sphere now participates in the combinations. Next, Combine Camera has been improved and now automatically detects animated cameras. In the scene, the camera left is animated, while the camera right is not. During rendering, the animation from camera left is exported frame by frame, while camera right only produces a single still image. Combine Camera, Animation, and By Camera are enabled. The render starts. Once the render is finished, the results are ready. In the camera left folder, you'll find 14 images corresponding to the animation. In the camera right folder, there's a single image for the static view. That we've finished with cameras, let's see what's new in the Compositor. The Compositor output now includes the name of the file output node in the exported files. In the Compositor, 2 file output nodes are set up, one named Compositor, and the other no Compositor, both exporting PNG files. Enable Compositor output and Compositor effects. The HSL node is connected to the Compositor file output node, while the render layer is connected to the no Compositor file output node. Then, start the render. Once the render is finished, the export folder contains 2 images, one with the HSL effect applied, and one without any compositing. Each file now carries the name of its corresponding file output node. Next, let's check out the new options in the add-on's preferences. In custom naming format, two options are now available: hashed file names and hashed folder names. Hashing converts a name into a unique string of characters, preventing issues with name length or conflicts. This is especially useful when file or folder names exceed operating system limits. The hash can be applied automatically if the limit is exceeded, or it can be activated manually. For example, combine camera and by camera enabled. The render starts. The export folder shows that both the by-camera folder and the image names have been correctly hashed. Another addition in the preferences is a calculation limiter, designed to prevent interface freezes. A button in the interface also allows you to disable the estimation calculation for a smoother experience. Let's see what's new in headless mode. For this example, combine camera and by camera are enabled. The headless package is exported, and its folder is opened. Inside the headless package folder, a pre-check file has been added. It calculates the estimated number of combinations in headless mode before starting the render. The .cmd file is then launched from the terminal. The number of combinations is 2. The render is started, and 2 images are exported. Additional updates concern the config file. It is now possible to choose which camera to use for rendering. The hashed file names and folder options are available. You can select which compositing to use, only for Blender 5.0. All options related to tasks are also supported. Additional options have been added to the config file. The add-on can also be run using Flamenco Render. To use it, install the Flamenco application along with the Flamenco add-on. Once activated, it will be available in the output panel. To have Flamenco recognize the add-on, create a script folder in Flamenco's installation directory and place the custom job inside. The BRR job will then appear in the job type. Example workflow: combine objects is enabled. The estimated number of combinations is 31. The Flamenco button is activated. The headless package is exported. Click on Submit to Flamenco, and the job is sent. Flamenco will use the headless package to perform the render. The job appears in the browser in a paused state. Requite. The render runs successfully. The render is completed, and the files are exported. This covers the major new features of the add-on. To illustrate some practical applications of the add-on, here are a few examples. The renders were done using cycles. For this example, an interior architecture scene is used, with the project downloaded from the Blender website. The link is available in the description. All collections are placed in the Ignore collection, and the cameras are grouped in the Camera collection. Combine camera enabled. 7 images will be generated from the different cameras in the scene. For the second example, 5 tasks are set up, 4 tasks for rings, and 1 task for the floor. Each task is configured with its materials and linked collections. For each ring task, a reflector has been added to the linked collection, with a black material. This setup will generate 48 images from the different combinations. Finally, for the third example, combine tasks and combine camera are used. 3 tasks are set up, 2 tasks for the 2 chairs, and 1 task for the floor. This setup will generate 198 images. Here is the result, showing all the generated images. For more details, check the add-on documentation and changelog. Thanks for watching.